I'm going to end this one, and I've started a new one. Let's try that. I'm gonna get my selfie stick. 1 sec. Uh-oh. No, it has to be that way. Hello again. Oh man, how am I gonna do this though? So I think the reason that there were issues with the sound is because I actually don't have internet here at home. You know, no cable, no internet. So I was sharing my phone, data or internet, whatever, with my laptop. It's not even I don't even own a laptop. This is my school's, the school gave it to me. So I was sharing my internet with the laptop. So is the sound better? Clear sound now, good job. All right. So now I don't want to hold this phone the whole time. So let's see what I can do with that, and then we can party. Okay. I think that should be okay. Look at all that white. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so now I can't see as much stuff, but anyway. Okay, so yeah, I just thought I would do something different. I actually was surprised when I was like, is it 3 years of the channel or is it 2 years? And I was like, oh my God, it's 4 years. So I just thought I would do something different to celebrate that. I love making videos for this channel. I love all of the excursions that I go out. I mean, it's the kind of stuff I like to do anyway, but the channel is really fantastic because it gets me out doing more of what I love to do. I'm just on my own, so it's easy to maybe, I don't know. But when I have that impetus of making a video, yeah, it just really gets me out there more. What was I going to say? Although having said that, I think what I've learned just recently is that I think putting out a video every single week, I think it's actually not the best idea, because what I found is that when I have put out a video only every couple of weeks, people, more people watch that last video. So I'm getting a lot more views per video when I'm putting out less videos. I think people are always just going to, jump on the latest video. So I think a lot of good content has become buried because I've put out a weekly video. So I think I'm really going to stick to the every 2 week schedule. That'll be hard in the summer, of course, because in the summer I'm always off doing something really exciting, and I've got lots of video to sort of offload and whatever, because I like my videos to be fairly, I don't like them to be like too far in the past. Even right now, I've got 2 whole trips on my phone that I still haven't edited. They're from September. It feels like forever ago now, so it's hard to have that same excitement to edit. It sort of like feels more like work when it's that far in the past, whereas when it's just happened, you're still sort of living that that experience. Anywho, blah, blah, blah. All of that to say that I think from now on, I'm not going to feel that pressure to put out a video every week. And, every couple of weeks is fine. I'm sure nobody cares. I'm sure I'm the only one who cares. So yeah. Anywho, thank you, Beth. So my birthday's actually on, Anson. Hi. Well, Anson, you didn't miss anything because there was technical, there were technical difficulties and I had to switch over. So you didn't miss anything, and welcome. Thank you, Beth, for the happy birthday message. My birthday's actually on Monday. I will turn 49 years old. Yeah, so yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I got tons of stories I could share. I could just get into rambling off a couple. But I thought I would ask, is there anything any of you would like to know or to ask or anything like that? Thank you, Sharon. Just looking at the messages. Happy birthday, 45. Oh, in December. Great. Well, happy early birthday to you, Shannon. You gave us a tour of the Six Moons tent before your summer trip. I'm curious what you think after living in it for over a month. Any design flaws? So I was really nervous taking that Six Moons tent with me to France because it was a brand new, tent to me. I had to seam seal it. That alone, I was like, why do I have to seam seal it? Anyway, I know why I have to seam seal it, because that particular type of fabric, which is fantastic for repelling water, there isn't a machine created that can seam seal it. So it has to be done manually. The company offers to do it for you for $30, or you can do it yourself. I feel like, why don't they just do it for you for the $30? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I did it myself. It was super easy. I was scared. Like, did I do a good enough job, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, it's not rocket science. Even some of the videos I watched, compared to like when I did it, I found it was a super easy thing to do. So hiking through the Pyrenees Mountains, there were some crazy wind, rain, and hailstorms, like really crazy. And that Six Moons tent was perfect. So one storm in particular was, when I was at the foot of Vigmal. Vigmal is the second highest peak in the French Pyrenees. And that was like a dreamy, no one had actually crossed over the little river to camp in the land, at the foot of the mountain. I was the first to go over there. Anyway, by the end there was about, I don't know, I'm going to say 20 of us. And then there was the refuge, back on the other side of the little river stream. Anyway, that night there was a crazy, crazy wind. Like the wind through the Pyrenees Mountains is like none other I've ever experienced in my life. Like, I was so glad to have such a heavy backpack so that I didn't blow away myself. Anyway, so that night there was wind like that, rain. Was there hail that night? I don't think there was hail that night. Anyway, all of a sudden I started seeing like lights going on, and so a lot of people's tents went down, and they had to go up into the refuge to take shelter. I kept waiting and checking. My tent was fine. So one of the great things about that tent is that it's one trekking pole in the middle, and then it's staked out six stake points. Because of that design, it's almost impossible for it to blow over. When you have two trekking poles, now you've got like you know, there's vulnerable points, right? Like where, you know, where the tent would be flush on each side or whatever. Like, but with just the one, so it's a great design. It served extremely well, like 100% well, no leaks. This is a single wall tent. That was a bit of conversation in the morning. So all I did was every morning when I woke up, I had my little pack towel, like just a hand size pack towel. So every morning when I woke up, I would just wipe down the inside of the tent, and that's it. So people who complain about condensation in a single wall tent, I mean, I'll take a single wall tent any day over a double wall tent because if the double wall tent, you have to set up first, you know, the mesh tent and then fly over top. If you're setting up a storm, you know, all of the wedges are going to get through the mesh. Whereas with the single wall tent, you set up, duck in, that's it. So in answer to your question, that tent was amazing, and yeah, like zero complaints. Not even condensation, big deal. Although I don't know why they got the floating bathtub. So there is a ventilated strip on the bottom, but higher rises. So that's a curious design. I thought it was great. Are you followed again? Oh my god. Angeline. One of my students is here. Hi, Angeline. I wondered that would happen. Oh, I'm so upset with the audio. Am I able to? Is the audio any better now? Let's see. It's fixed. Yay. So Angelina, did you hear me say hello to you? Oh, Roger Giddy. Oh my gosh. Film mission. Yes, I remember you commenting as well. So I think it's just something that might happen. Oh, look at, she's reporting that she's done her homework. That is great, Angelina. Oh my God. What was I going to say? Anyway, this is cool to recognize so many names. Favorite gear from Crappy Tire. I love Canadian Tire. I love Canadian Tire. I wish they would notice me and know how much I love them and like sponsor me. I love Canadian Tire, you know, for car camping. It's certainly not where I would buy gear for backpacking, but favorite piece of gear from Canadian Tire, I love the new camp stove I just bought the single burner propane thing. That was great. So you guys have to realize, right? I was like cook free, and then I finally bought like the little hand size, the little you know, backpacker's stove. You know, it's only like this big, and I love that thing. But usually when I do a through hike, a long hike, Angelina's now saying no. Oh, June's here. Hi, June. Oh my God. Usually when I do a long through hike, I go cook free. So to go from that extreme, I guess, cook free, you know, a cook free summer, or just those little backpacker stoves, and then to now have that it's like a real single burner stove, and to do, I mean, both of those, I've made that chickpea dish again since my last video. I made it here at home. I was homesick on Tuesday. Yeah, anyway, so I really, really like that piece of gear. What else have I bought from Canadian Tire? I mean, here at home, even here at home, like I don't use regular bed sheets. I have backpacking sleeping bags, and then I have home sleeping bags. And my home sleeping bags are from Canadian Tire. They're very big and fluffy and heavy and not good for backpacking, but those are great. Anyway, and I love my little junior, 2-person tent. I love that little tent. That's the one that leaked on Thanksgiving weekend. But yeah, I am going to, like, as Pine Martin had said in the comments to that video, any tent, if you're in the pouring rain for long enough and your tent is on, sopping wet ground, even the most expensive tent eventually with hydrostatic pressure will absorb, moisture will absorb in. So actually for a $42 tent, that tent is great and I will continue to use it. So yeah, that tent, the single burner, stove, those are probably my 2 favorite pieces of gear, and my home sleeping bags. Everyone hit the like. Dahlia Morisova. Hi, Dahlia. This is my favorite teacher. She is so kind and funny. I actually, Sophie Olnitsky. Oh my God, my students are taking over. So what everyone needs to know is that I don't talk about this channel with my students at school. If they bring it, they've discovered it clearly. But whenever they bring it up, I just sort of change the topic and I move on. And the reason I do that, and my students, I want you to know this, the reason I do that is because when I'm in that building, it's not about me, it's about you guys. So you guys are welcome to be here right now, and that's great. I think it's cute, actually. My channel's full of positive messages and all of that kind of stuff, but I still won't talk about this channel with you guys at school because it's all about you guys at school. And make sure you do your homework tonight. Me too, I did my homework. Okay, great. Maggie, I work for Canadian Tire and have the 3-person tent for 8 years. Spray it with the silicone spray, game changer. Yeah, okay. I might do that. But like I said, perhaps I need to seam seal that junior 2-person tent because it was leaking through the seam by the door. So it definitely needs to be seam sealed, but the rest of the tent was holding up fine. It was just coming in through the ground, which, like Pine Martin had said, that's unavoidable. Well, he said actually, I don't know if you guys read his comment to that Thanksgiving tent fail video, but he said you bring a plastic sheet, like a cheap plastic sheet, and you place it on the inside of your tent because hydrostatic pressure is unavoidable even with the most expensive tent, and that will solve that problem. So I will do that for the future. All right, Dan, any plans on coming back to Arkansas to finish the Washita Trail? Absolutely. So for those of you who don't know what Dan is talking about, last March, I flew down to Arkansas, met up with thru-hikes a lot. And I have a really crazy story about thru-hikes a lot. So if I forget, remind me. So I met up with thru-hikes a lot, and the 2 of us hiked the first half of the Washita Trail. We had to stop because that was all the time that I had off. Yes, we plan to do the second half at some point. I don't know when. It probably will not be this March, but we plan to do that. He's hiked it a million times. Like, he's from that area, so he's hiked it a million times. People in that area know who he is. And yeah, I'm really lucky to have him as a hiking buddy because, because he's great. He's a very experienced hiker. Let's see here. Tips. Oh, the marathon. Yeah. So this person has asked, do I have any tips to prepare for the marathon? The marathon is part of the Bruce Trail. Again, for viewers, I have an entire playlist just called the Bruce Trail. The Bruce Trail is a 900-kilometer trail here in Ontario. Starts at the border of Niagara, and goes all the way north to audio is bad. Tell me when it gets. Tell me when it gets better. How do I understand? How do I? Sounds like not yet. Okay, I'll just keep hoping and saying not too much. Thanks for giving me an accent. We're interesting. It's so funny. Okay. How do I? How do I? First line. No, sorry though. I don't know how I can type on the chat. It's echoing and it sounds like your words are ripples. Does anybody? Madame, do you have TikTok? No, I do not have TikTok. No TikTok. Okay, Dahlia with the emojis. Thank you. Must be a system buffering issue, even if the video isn't affected. Okay, Dahlia and Angelina, if you guys are just going to keep sending emojis, we can proceed the conversation, but maybe you should restart the live. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to restart. That backwards.